glad that I stayed so close to Kentucky, or I stayed in Kentucky last night, so I didn't have to drive 3 hours this morning from Knoxville. Look, there's the sign. I gotta go take a picture. So I was going to go for a hike, and I realized the trails are completely covered in snow, and I have my hiking boots, but they got soaking wet when I was hiking in Congaree National Park, and you'll see that in a different episode, probably before this one. And I don't want to get those wet again, and I can't wear my other hiking boots because they're half a size smaller. They're my summer hiking, like if I was hiking like in super hot weather. Yeah, so this is the trail right here. You can mountain bike and stuff, which I think would be fun, but there's no way I can hike. You know, I don't really want to hike in the snow. Not today, at least. Maybe another day. But yeah, it looks super pretty. I'll definitely come back here again. It's great because I can get into all the national parks for free with my little park pass. So yeah, so I'll come back and do that. I'll come back and hike. But they got tons of hiking trails, and it's just basically forest hiking. You're not like hiking through caves. So I would suggest doing the cave tour, and then if you have time that same day, you can go ahead and the road's a little icy here. Okay, hang on a minute, let me concentrate. So I have my reservation, but I'm hoping to get onto an earlier tour because it's only like 8:45 and my tour is at 12:45. The next tour for historic is 9:45, so that should work. I'm not going on the Cleveland Avenue, Mammoth Passage, Gothic Avenue, and Extended Historic. But yeah, so I would just be going on I have the 12:45 historic tour. If I can get on the 9:45, I don't know when all these people are getting on the tour, but hopefully I can get on that one. Tour times in blue are sold out. Oh crap. Okay, so maybe I do have to wait till 12:45. We'll see. So I got the 9 a.m. tour, and then I'll come back at 12:45 and do the other tour. So I'm gonna go outside right now, just out here, and go line up. This is good. So that's 2 hours for this tour, and then I'll come back to the gift shop, and then I'll do the second tour, and then I'll have some time to get lunch as well. So for this one, you have to wait at shelter A. This is fun. This is great that it's snowing.
Today for our Gothic Avenue tour, we will not be seeing 426 miles this morning. Today for our tour, this will be a little over 2 hours long. We'll have about 200 stayers on our tour today, and have about a little over about a mile of walking today. Does that sound good to you? That sounds good to me. So, folks, my name is Ranger Quinton. You can call me Ranger Quinton. You can call me Ranger. I also respond to help. Now, before we head down there, we do have to talk about tickets. So if you have printed out tickets, handout tickets, you want to give them to the most responsible one in your party today. When she has all the tickets, you'll show them to my partner down by the entrance. Stayers or any other health concerns, please consider your limitations before going to a dark hole in the ground. Evacuation from Mammoth Cave can and will take several days. Several hours, my fault. It will take several hours to evacuate you from the cave in case anything was to arise. Actually, everyone say hello to Ranger Ashley.
Hello.
I will be in the front, folks, and she will be in the back. And that means I will be turning on the lights in the cave, and she will be turning them off. So if you're in front of me or behind her, you will be lost in the longest cave system on Earth. So you want to stay with the group at all times. In fact, anyone under the age of 16, raise your hand for me. All right, take that hand, put it on the parent or guardian that forced you on this cave tour this morning. That is as far as you want to be from your parents today, staying within arm's reach of them at all times, making sure we're staying safe and together throughout the system today. as we walk through. This is the rotunda. This is about the 6th largest room in Mammoth Cave. This is a little over half an acre in size. To kind of give you a perspective, you may have seen a hotel upstairs being remodeled. We're directly underneath that right now. But we're going to continue further inside the cave, talk more about these wooden artifacts you see in the middle of the room. But we're going to continue forward. Here, folks, if you will, let's make like a half circle, crescent moon, kind of extending out from me right here. But there's one key word I left out of the story, and that's the legend of John Houchins. Because this story, folks, I'll be honest, I am from Kentucky. I was born and raised here. I do not believe that story whatsoever, mainly because of 2 reasons. One, that story didn't come around until the 1850s, almost 50 years after the supposed events had even occurred. And also, if John was really from Kentucky, he would have shot and killed that bear with 1 shot. So we know that story isn't true. Sharpening one end like a pencil, beveling the other, making their own water pipes out here in the West. A little shelf right here that has a light dusting on the top. That's where the floor was. Now we're back together, folks. You see, Mammoth Cave wasn't, as I mentioned, the only cave being used for saltpeter. There's another cave that was being leased out by the same owners of Mammoth Cave for the same purpose. It was called Short Cave. Named Short Cave because the owner's last name was Short, and the cave is very short. He said, well, forget the walls. We'll just write on the ceiling instead. Any idea how they would have done that, folks?
Candles.
Candles. Exactly. You see, back then, they would have given you just a simple candle. They would have lighted for you and say, all right, you want to leave your name behind? You'll take this candle right here, hold it up to the ceiling, and then dot by dot by dot, slowly burning your name into the ceiling. People were taller back in the day, folks. They would have actually given them a little hiking stick with a little nail at the end of it, placing that candle at the very end of that stick and holding it all the way to the ceiling, dot by dot by dot. Carbonic acid, in fact. Carbonic acid is what carved out these passageways and also made these cave formations. You see these really, really small formations right there? That is how much it has grown in the time since it was broken off. The end of that rock ledge, hold hands together. And if it was rock solid, it would hold steady. And if not, they would have to figure out who was unfaithful. The good thing is, we've always had rock solid relationships here at Mammoth Cave. I want you to close your eyes. Count of 2, I will start to show you what all Mammoth Cave looks like to them. And count of 3, open your eyes and see what it looks like. Watch your head, folks.
Those were all
So I'm done. That was super fun. You can feel how cold it is now. That's really fun. That's the first tour, and then I'll do the historic tour at 12:45, which is in about maybe an hour and a half. So that'll give me some time to go to souvenir shop And yeah, it's a really good crowd, good group, and lots of little kids all bundled up. Harriet would have loved this. I think she would have liked this. It does get cold at the very end when you're walking out, but this is gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna climb up this whole road up there and go get something to eat either in the van, or if they have food here, I'll get something here. This is great. I'm glad I got here at 8:30. I was kind of worried I'd have to go outside and hike, but managed to get on the 9 a.m. Gothic tour, Gothic Avenue, and then I'll do the historic tour at 12:45. So now it's 11. So yeah, hour and 45 minutes. Awesome. Okay, see you in a bit. So I don't know if you could hear, but the reason that the stalactites, which come from the ceiling, are so small is because there is a roof over the top of the cave, which is sandstone and shale, and that actually prevents the stalactites from growing. If the ranger said that if we didn't have that roof, then we wouldn't even be able to do the tour, because the stalactites would be so big they would basically block the entire trail. So that's good. I don't know how far I hiked. I put my Strava on, but I don't think it's going to actually pick up underground. It didn't do that at the Carlsbad Caverns. It just said I basically walked nowhere. So we'll see. Okay, there's the visitor center. And there's something else over there. I don't know. Oh, this is the hotel. Okay. So yeah, we were right under the hotel right there too. Okay, cool. Okay, keep going. It is cold. It feels beautiful. I'm glad I came here in the winter. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful park. And not very busy. So roads are dry, clear. Okay, cool. I'm back in the van for about an hour before my next tour, well, the original tour, 12:45, that I was going to go on. So it's really good that I got the 9 a.m. tour. It's kind of exhausting. You have to walk and stand and listen and behave and all that stuff. It's a lot of energy. But it's beautiful outside. It's getting warm. You can't really see, but it's dry outside, and the road should be pretty good. So after this, after the tour at 12:45, that should end about 3. And then I just drive straight to Chattanooga.
Stand by me and we'll walk out together, or you can go stand by the direction we're going to go. It's totally up to you.
Either's fine.
We're going to take that path there going, but I'm going to stop down here by the bench.
Okay.
So,
Are we just going to stop right at the end of this open area?
yeah, that open area is the direction we're going. We just don't go down the path if you want to stand.
Okay.
Or you can stand with me. It does not matter.
Yeah, it's good to walk at the front for me, because it's then I don't have to look at my feet the whole time.
Yes.
So I learned the hard way doing these tours underground, smacking my head on stuff because I was looking at my feet.
Yeah.
Slowing down right here. If you look up from right about where I'm at, where this light and rock are, if you look up, you're going to see a little brown bat. He's right up here hanging from the ceiling. We say educational purposes. So we all go out together and we go in different parts of the cave, and what I've seen is just phenomenal. I don't even know how to, visitors don't go to those areas, but it's just, it's incredible is about what I get to say.
Yeah.
Place is bottomless, goes down to the bottom of bottomless pit and old tour routes.
I do remember this part from when I
Do
came
you?
here in
When
college,
you were-
yeah. Because what, somebody got stuck,
Oh,
or they had like claustrophobia or
oh
something.
yeah. It's interesting what, even the first time I remember, I'm like, how long did this go on for?
Still don't have to bend over.
This is naturally occurring, or this was made?
Yes, this is natural. It would have been filled with sediment. What I want you to think about is water was running towards us. You're going to see a little step up here in the tall man's misery, and it would have been a little waterfall.
Oh, okay.
But it filled up with sediment. And so, yeah, they cleaned the sediment out. And then, but they didn't carve this out. So,
There are like 75 people on this tour?
there's probably over 100. It was sold out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, usually it's about 110.
Yeah, I got the ticket for this tour, but I got here because of the weather. I got here early, like at 8 this morning.
Oh, right.
And then I got on the 9 a.m. Tour as well. So it's really cool to see like the two different versions.
So that works out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just walk down here, we're gonna wait for people. Which call the cave home. The bats that we saw today are little brown bats. They come in two sizes, chicken nuggets and chicken tenders, those 8 that live in the cave, right? The chicken tenders are my favorite. So, but those little brown. So the question I got was, do they not hang out together? And normally, you know, when I've seen bats in caves, I do see them in clusters together. Hanging out, and that's also one of the causes of the spread of white nose syndrome. Not just humans, they spread it to one another. Life ring, right down there, there is a river. There is a pool of water. That is the lowest level of our cave. That is cave in process. So the Cave Research Foundation is actually going into these passageways. Some have water in them to find out where they go. Some are dead ends, some aren't. I'm not a geologist, I will tell you that. I just love it. This is one of my most favorite rooms because water, and it's making the cave, right? And we're at this water level here. You see this flood lake? This is a flood gauge, right? Right here, just a year and a half ago, the water was right here. This was in the 80s and 90s. And up here are 2 medallions from the 30s and the 50s. Water was all the way up there. So absolutely fascinating. So this does flood, but it's not going to flood like if we have a heavy rain outside. It has to be enough water over time that the water is going to backflow in the Green River, and this room will start to fill up those waterways back there. Now the water right back behind here, you actually can hike down the hill after your tour here and go see the river Styx spring. That water is right behind here and dumping out, and it's finding its way to the Green River. We're going to see Mammoth Dome. After you look at Mammoth Dome, I want you to look to the right and up. We're going to climb 155 steps up the fire tower.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to...
Okay, that's tour number 2 done. And the ranger has one more tour to do today. That's good. That was like 2 hours. I'm tired now. And now I'm going to drive into Tennessee. Or I might stay in Kentucky for a bit. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, hungry and need the bathroom and all the human bodily things. There's also trails, but they look kind of frozen. But I'll come back and do the trails another day in the spring. Okay, double times I need to use the loo. But yeah, it's all frozen back there. There's that lady. Trying to walk. Okay. I see all these license plates and I'm the only one that's Texas. I'm the only one representing the Lone Star State, the great planet, or the great nation of Texas. I'm just kidding. All right, one other van lifer. That's a factory built Dodge from Ohio. And then there's Prudence. Okay, all right, I'm now heading to Tennessee. I'm done. That was super fun. Good afternoon from Kentucky. I am now going to barrel through at a reasonable speed, barrel through Tennessee to get to Georgia. And I'm going to stay as close as I can to Tallulah Gorge. I was going to originally stay at a park up in Chattanooga, but that's 3 hours from where I want to go hiking. And because of the bomb cyclone and the overnight freezes, I don't want to be driving at 5 o'clock in the morning to go hiking, because even though it's like 55 degrees right now, everything is melting, but it's going to freeze overnight. So everything that's wet right now that I'm just plowing through, dry conditions, when the snow around it melts, it's going to freeze, and so it's just going to be terrible. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Short story long, I'm going to just get as close to Tallulah Gorge as I can. So I have like 2.5 days in Georgia, and then heading back into, I think, Alabama for half a day, and then back into Texas for Monday, which will be like the last day of my holiday, and then Monday night drive back into Houston. So yeah, pretty excited. Beautiful drive, beautiful day. It's now like 3:30, but it's 4:30 Eastern, so I'm going back and forth between East and Central time zones. So I'm gaining an hour, losing an hour, gaining an hour, losing an hour. So when I go to, even if I stayed in Chattanooga, it would still be an hour ahead. So I might as well stay in Georgia. So I was going to stay close to like Athens. I think I'm trying to get to Athens, someplace over there, and that's only 45 minutes away from Tallulah Gorge. I have 3 short hikes that I'm connecting each other to tomorrow, and then heading into Helen, Georgia, which is like a little, I think, German village. And I may get an Airbnb, a cabin, or a hotel tomorrow. I'm not sure. I was gonna have that as kind of my buffer, like if I, I'm feeling like really tired and stuff, but I'm actually feeling pretty good. I've been sleeping really well, like a rock in the van, even though it's been cold. Very well insulated. I've got Japanese blanket, and I have my Sub-Zero sleeping bag. So I actually don't have a heater. I don't need one, even when it's like 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's all in all, it's been really good. I think because it hasn't been super windy, so I think if it was windy, it'd be a different type of sleep. But yeah, so I'm just driving now through, I think I'm still in Kentucky. I'll be in Tennessee soon. And again, not staying in Tennessee. I think at the end of the trip, I'm supposed to stay in Memphis on New Year's Eve at the pyramid. So that'll be a different video. I don't know. I may just barrel through to Texas. I'm just like heavy right foot. So yeah, I mean, what's an extra 2 hours of driving if it gets me there to where I want to go the next day earlier, and then that gives me more time. So I'm actually ahead of schedule, and I got to do 2 tours today at Mammoth Cave, because I did get an hour away from Mammoth Cave last night instead of being in Knoxville. I'm so glad I didn't have to drive 3 hours in this morning. That was definitely a lifesaver. So anyway, very pretty. Very tired now, but pushing through for the next 5.5 hours. Okay, that was a 6-hour drive and a 1-hour phone call on Zoom with Harriet, and I've made it to Love's in who the hell knows where I'm at, Georgia. So there's actually a couple van lifers over here. Let's see if any of them are branded so I can know who you are. They're all, let's see, we've got air conditioner. That's a personal, these are like custom built, and then there's like a van at the end. So I think I'm just gonna park, I don't know, probably at the end here. Sorry for my messy window. Yeah, I think it'll be too loud at the end here. I'm gonna park at the other end of the parking lot. I need to get gas first. All right, that guy's running his generator. So that's a no over there. I could park next to the van lifers right in between them. They should be quiet, but I'm gonna see if there's space on the other side. No, there's a ton of trucks. Okay, maybe I'll just park at the end here. I don't think anyone will bother me. Yep. All right, cool. It's cold. I'm tired. Good morning from Casa de Prudence. We've got 2 van lifers, me. That's it. Actually, I slept really well last night. I only got like 6 hours sleep, but anyway, okay, I'm gonna go throw out my trash and then go get some hot chocolate. It's actually about 40 degrees, so it feels really warm now after going through 6 days of sub-zero temperature. So Dunkin' Donuts is getting all bougie. This is hot chai oat milk latte. Who knew? Fantastic. So no more gas station hot chocolate in the morning, which will clean me out. Anyway, this felt really good. Slept really well. So I'm gonna head out. It's like 6:30 right now. Almost 7 o'clock. Still dark. I'm back on East Coast time, so I lost an hour. But I get to sleep in an hour, so there you go. Okay, so I'm now gonna head to Tallulah Falls, which is about 45 minutes from here. So it should be a nice drive. It's still kind of dark, but I think it should be okay.